You got this and you got that, and you gonna murder this one and murder that one. Talking all that bullshit. I'm gonna put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me. I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. We are less one Conrad Simpson today. He's out in Chicago with the one and only Corgasm. They're going to be playing in Hammond, Indiana. Is that accurate?
Sounds accurate.
Is that where they're going?
That's a place in Indiana.
It seems like a place.
It is for sure.
They're chasing the
That's real.
Chasing the rings, I guess. Going ring shopping, if you will.
Oh.
Does anyone in this room have a ring outside of Conrad?
Yeah, Landon.
You have one?
Last year.
Yeah.
Online?
1K circuit.
Corey has
Wow.
like 7.
Wow.
It was
Yeah.
1K circuit where like there was 6 people left and everybody had around 10 to 13 big blinds.
Well, yeah, that's how the structure works.
It
Lana,
was-
you don't have a ring?
No.
Why don't you have a ring?
I don't think
I thought you played tournaments.
Yeah.
I haven't played a lot of ring events.
Y'all rude for real.
I actually,
You'd do well in there.
I think I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be the Maurice Hawkins
get
of
him in
this
Cherokee.
podcast.
Should I go for his record?
Yeah.
I think so. It's never too late, Tortoise. It's never too
Oh,
late.
man.
Should we send him to Cherokee? I feel like
Yeah.
we need representation
We
in
should.
Cherokee. Cherokee is like, when did Cherokee, North Carolina become the fucking
Mecca?
Brigada of the East?
I think it's been. Like,
Really?
People have always said Cherokee's like the best stop.
I mean, we did a lot of traveling
Cherokee.
in our day.
Back in the day, I mean, like that's the thing. I don't travel now at all. Like, which if you really want to, like, win a bunch of rings, then you have to,
Right.
to kind of travel the Midwest. I
Yeah,
feel
of
like.
course.
Yeah.
Move your ass back to Pittsburgh. It's gonna be great. But my point is, Cherokee, North Carolina was never on the stop. It wasn't on the map.
Nah, Cherokee's cool
This
now.
is what happens.
Is this
man.
newish?
I mean, at
It's
least
like right
at least
after
as long
Florida.
as I've been playing, it's been
well, that's newish.
5 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cherokee's
that's
cool now. Like every time after Florida, that's the way it goes. Is you go to Florida and then you go
That's
to Cherokee.
just the way it is.
Yeah.
Apparently Tunica was special too.
Tunica's sick.
Never been to Tunica, but
Never
yeah,
been
there were
before.
rumors that
People
there
always
was
said it was great.
some rogue gamblers out there.
There's like one. It's like there's like 1-3 cash games where everyone just has like 20k on the table.
Oh man, it sounds like
Why
my
not?
dream.
Well, it also
Wow.
sounds like Texas.
Yeah, Tunica,
Yeah.
Texas, same thing.
I think
But
that-
it's different.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Ash Kardash was saying Tunica is special, but I thought they just played PLO there.
They play everything there probably.
I just know because Caitlin was just there.
Oh,
She won the ladies.
is that where she got the?
And she FT'd
Okay,
a different one.
so she has a ring. Landon
Well,
has
Run
a
good.
run good.
Her- hers is a run good ring.
What?
It's a
clearly.
ring. A ring's a ring.
It's a
It's a ring.
mid-major ring.
Right.
Don't do this.
Okay. Hey, a ring's a ring.
Ring's
Right.
a ring.
Put
Married
a
to
ring
the
on.
game.
That's right. If you would like your entire head in the shot, you might want to scoot your chair back a little bit, just a smidgen.
You should stay.
Oh.
I'm almost regretful of
Oh no.
telling you to do this because that was quite the endeavor.
Danger.
Did you get yourself a new Stanley Cup?
I did. It was Berkey's suggestion because
One was not enough.
yeah,
No, one
because
is not
my
enough.
other one like gets
You're like
moldy.
$200 deep in
No,
Stanley
they're
Cups.
$45 each. I don't know. Everyone's like,
Fuck
"What
that.
did you pay $1,000 for that?" It's like,
Oh.
what do you mean? It's $45.
What do you
Like,
mean? What do you mean? But I would.
That's the same cost as
It's
like
going- it's going to
that's
1,000
basically
though.
the cost of a Whopper these
That's
days
it.
is 45
Just hold. It's going to 1,000.
Yeah, but I needed it because I need to
Wait
like
a minute.
cycle them.
My fear is
Makes
that
sense.
because it's a black straw, the mold will not be seen.
I did get it, and I was like, this isn't great for mold, but
Here's a
Well, you got to put it
suggestion.
on a timeline.
You just
yeah,
gotta.
yeah, I got on a
yeah,
schedule.
Just gotta wash it once in a while.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
no,
I'll
that's
rotate
easier said
them,
than
like,
done.
every couple
really
days.
is.
Yeah, that's the beat. So I have 3 of these. Can't shout out to Jim Shark. No, not Jim Shark.
Ice Shaker.
Ice Shaker. They were on.
That's a Jim Shark.
because both of them were on Shark Tank.
yeah.
That's where I was thinking. Shark Tank product, incredible double walled metal, no lead or whatever the fuck Stanley's giving you over here.
You ingest like Teflon pieces every day, so I don't know.
Makes
what the
you
difference is.
stronger.
Big
I've been using
the.
the same 2 Nalgene's for like the last 8 years.
Yeah, but like you
Like this
know,
one?
you're old and responsible. You like wash shit
Yeah.
and stuff. It's like
No,
I got
Right,
3
I
of
have
these.
one, and then the other one goes in the wash, and then
Yeah.
you know back.
That's
and
why I got
forth.
3 of these. So every 3 days, I rotate them through the dishwasher because the problem is with these things is that there's a seal and the seal is like this rubber gasket type thing, and it just gets moldy as fuck.
Yeah.
So I ordered 35 rubber seals. I might just fucking start throwing them away. Instead of worrying about washing the cup, I might just like trash the seals.
You have to clean the area
They
around
make these
the seal.
machines
Yeah.
that wash them for you.
No, you know what? It doesn't get the seal, man. I have to take the seal out, put it in the
Yeah.
dishwasher separate.
Because you
Same
put the
with the
seal in, then
straw.
and then it warps it.
No. It's not that it warps it. It's that if you put it in with the lid, it just like doesn't do a great job.
Yeah, the spores stick.
Like you just get the surface cleaning.
The
you
lid
know?
comes off, right?
Yeah, but
you have
all
to
right.
take
So
the seal out of
so
the
like
lid.
yes.
Oh, okay.
There's,
Because if you just put it in, the soap and the water can't get
Goes around
into
it.
the seal.
There's
I
a seal
understand.
in here,
Right.
And you know
Right,
this one
right.
might be covered in mold right now. To be
The
quite
first,
honest.
the first like
I mean,
2
you haven't
months,
died yet.
The
A
first
little
2 months I
penicillin.
had my Stanley, I didn't wash it, and I was like, huh, this must be a friction mark from my straw. And then I realized it was like just
Because like
mold.
you're just drinking water. It's like who would ever think?
I mean, I
Right.
put electrolytes in, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, you know, that's just like salt, magnesium, whatever.
Backwash,
It
bro.
should
Backwash.
sanitize it.
Right,
It's
exactly.
salt.
Basically shake it up. It's good to go.
Yeah.
All the bacteria in your mouth.
When I started to realize was whenever, so I drink pre-workout out of this quite often. I started to notice like a significant change in flavor profile. And I was like, oh man, I must just be getting used to my pre-workout because this
Yeah.
doesn't taste as good as it used to. And then I look and it's just like, oh no, we have a house of spores.
I
growing in the
started
lid.
getting like my throat would like hurt and stuff, and I was like, what's going on?
It
Like,
sounds like a band name,
and-
House of
and
Spores.
We're all adults
it
here.
was just full of mold.
I feel like this is something that a 12-year-old wouldn't fuck up. And
Right.
like, we're just
Well,
routinely.
time just goes by, and then
Yeah,
you
time
don't
flies.
realize.
No, the
you know.
12-year-old just like has whatever they have in their cup, and then they smell something, and then they just like smell it, and they're just like, and then just
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how often
big
I've
deal.
watched this. Probably not.
Never,
Right.
maybe.
No, I go downstairs but probably less than I should.
Okay.
like it
Smells
How's
okay.
it smell?
Fine, tastes good. You know,
That's metal, though.
these sulfur Y water bottles are actually mold free.
What?
Yeah, you can't. They're just.
Look at this sales pitch.
Yeah, you just
they're mold
can't-
resistant.
They're
I
mold
think that's-
resistant is what I'm looking for.
Cook.
So you can go to academy.sulfurY.io,
Cook
go to
will
the
manager,
shop,
cook.
and go ahead and get yourself one.
Wow.
you can really taste the mold.
How about that?
I apologize, guys. I have to delete the second link that we
Tastes
had
like
up.
stacking chips.
He's just like vomit.
My fault.
It might have been my fault, but I don't think it was my
I
fault.
hope everybody enjoyed my music selection prior to the show.
Yeah, you
Come to
guys-
snuff the rooster.
You guys enjoy a little Alice in Chains in the intro?
demonetization.
Who said that was
Intro.
who in the chat said that was metal? This is grunge, baby. We're talking early
Early
mid
90s.
90s grunge. Seattle.
Grunge, baby.
Yeah, good news is for
All
people
right.
who are
We're
watching this in the
stroked
replay, I'll be clipping out the 5-minute countdown.
We should just do
because-
that regularly.
No, it's a pain in the ass.
I do it
What do you
for
mean it's a pain in the ass?
I do it for the for
I'll do it.
Spotify?
for the audio, yeah, for Spotify and Apple.
Can't you just do it within YouTube? Just
Yeah, but it takes like a day to render.
It
So,
takes
like, we're not
forever.
gonna-
so it's off the market for a day.
No. I don't know if it affects the algorithm or not. I know that. Look, this episode's not going to be very well watched, so we can just pretty much do whatever we want. But also, it won't be monetized until it's actually clipped out. So, like that whole time that it's rendering, it's just
All right, so
dead
you
in
miss
the
out on
water.
like $2 or something.
listen. We make $85 on average per episode. Okay,
Oh.
that's
That's not-
almost
we
that's
do.
almost
Okay,
what
so
we
it's
pay
probably
you.
like less than $2.
It's almost what we pay you.
Almost.
if we can get these views to double, we can actually afford to
Yeah.
have you in 5 days a week.
Wow. Yeah, guys, start watching. If
That's
you
the
want
thing.
me
If
in.
right, like, well, maybe the views are higher when Melissa's on. So then maybe we actually make. I'll say on average we make 85, but maybe we make what she makes per episode on her actual
He's
episodes.
cooking. Let him cook.
I'll
cooking.
check the
He's
numbers.
cooking.
You're gonna crunch the numbers.
I'm gonna crunch the numbers.
He's cooking.
Instinct tells me that's probably not
Oh
the
wait,
case.
okay, hold on. I have
If
something
not,
important.
you're getting a pay cut.
I have something really important. So last night I asked in the chat, Berkey, can I apply you for The Bachelorette?
But, right.
And I decided I am going to do that, and I'm
Oh,
gonna
I misread
also-
that, by the way.
What?
I thought that you wanted. I thought you were trying to apply me for the Bachelor.
talking
No,
about-
you
you're
have to
talking
be
about
on the show first in order to even get to be the
Oh,
Bachelor.
okay.
You're talking about
That's a little
the
bit more
seniors
reasonable.
one.
Because he's like, I'm too old. Maybe the Golden Bachelor.
I did not say I was too old. I said I was unattractive.
You said I'm old and
I followed that up-
Pittsburgh 6.5.
Yeah, I followed that up with I'm too old and I'm a Pittsburgh 6.5.
You're a niche internet micro celebrity, and I think if I apply you to enough things, you'll get on. And think about how good for the podcast that would be.
That would be.
That would be great for the
we
podcast.
we would
actually.
be in mainstream probably.
That is true. I
So
think
I'm
I would
gonna
do.
do it,
I
and
think
then
I would
I'm
do
gonna
really
get
well in Love Is
raised.
Blind.
You got to talk to Lori Ann to get you on the show.
Well, I was thinking Love
She
is
would teach me to win.
Blind. I was thinking Love is Blind, but then I remember what you said about how you would scout. You would make friends with someone to scout out who's hot, and I was like, well, that kind of goes against the show's spirit.
Wait a minute. How does that work?
Well, okay. So here's my theory. First of
This
all,
is
I think I would do incredibly well
Strat
because
chat.
I have
Your
a
witty charm.
You would do.
no,
well.
no. I just have a radio voice, and I think that
You have a deep voice,
Yeah.
and you would do
Got
well.
a face
I
for
think.
radio.
exactly.
Jesus Christ, Brian.
Girls,
It's brutal, right?
That was mean. This is your friend.
I have a good voice. So my strategy, Guapo, is you go in there and there's like a dozen guys, a dozen girls, whatever, right? And you go on these speed dates through each of the cubicles so everybody meets each other, right? But what's clear is out of the gate, you have more chemistry with some than others. And a lot of the guys just like have no connection with a lot of these girls.
Yeah.
So what you do is you have the guys who admittedly say like, yeah, I have no connection with so-and-so, whatever. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'd like to know a little more about so-and-so. So what I think you should do is start asking her a bunch of questions about her physical appearance because it doesn't matter if you upset her.
But I think you can't, right? I think
No,
you're
you
not supposed to.
absolutely can.
But I thought you meant that you were gonna like make friends with one of the women and then have her look at everybody and tell you.
Oh, I did say that originally.
Tell you who's
that's way
hot.
smarter. Yeah.
That's way better.
Sorry, that's way smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have no connection with the girl, and you just say like, "Hey, why don't you be a scout
I'll tell
for me,
you who's hot,
and I'll
you
be
tell
a
me
scout
who's
for
hot.
you."
But I
Yeah.
think that they wouldn't like that on the show because it really goes against.
I think
the whole
another thing you
spirit.
can do is like find some like cute way to like play a game where you have to like jump, and if you feel the ground shake, if you feel the ground shake at all,
Can
Bro.
she fit in a rowboat?
Can she? No, she can't fit in a rowboat.
I'm really glad you remembered that because that's way sharper than what I just came up
Yeah.
with. The
But I
river
figure
there.
I'll send out a batch of applications, and one of them's gonna pick you up. And then I think if you get an offer, you'll do it.
I probably will. I'm bored.
I know. I think because you said you would go on the Squid Game show.
I would love to go on Squid
Game
Game.
would be awesome.
I definitely should
We
apply
we
for
gotta
that.
get you
I'm
on one of these shows
bored.
because I think that's how we get this thing.
Yeah,
off the
that's how
ground,
we
you
get the
know?
pod rolling, baby.
So they're gonna go, oh, that's Berkey.
Well, 'cause
from
then it
Love
just
is
becomes-
Blind.
then it just
He's
becomes a
super
reaction
superficial
pod.
one."
While you're at it, can you
superficial.
can you apply me to maybe some of like the barbecue competition shows?
Yeah, okay. Guys, let me
think
know
that's
what
what-
you want to be
right,
on, and
yeah.
we'll get it done.
Landon, what about Landon? What would he
Landon,
be?
what do you want to be on?
I'm not bored these days. I'm too busy.
Okay, but if you
like
weren't busy,
something has to do with anime. I don't know.
next anime star,
Yeah,
No.
America's next anime star.
right.
What a show.
Honestly, let's gaslight him
We
and
can put-
telling him that he got accepted
Yep.
for American Ninja Warrior so that like he
Oh,
just
there you go.
trains.
Yep.
Like just becomes an assassin over the
Yeah.
next year. And, then
And
we're just like,
we'll say,
whoops.
you know who else got on? J-Beck.
Yep.
And then he'll be like, oh, I'm in. I'm gonna
rumor
crush him.
is J-Bex is a much better athlete than you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the
What?
rumors floating around. Ralph told me he can ball.
He looks like he's a good basketball
Ralph
player.
told me he can ball.
you can ball.
He's
Ralph
built
did
like
tell
a
me I
good
can ball.
We're
basketball
supposed to
player.
do a dunking contest.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, I tore my ACL 70 years ago. I can't do it.
Well,
we got bored.
it's not that I can't do it.
You can't do it.
Don't worry,
listen.
don't
I
worry.
think
They're
I'm-
gonna dunk on J-Bags come August.
I definitely don't think I'm a favorite to dunk, but I have dunked in the past. The big thing that I didn't realize was going to be a holdup for this is,
Father time.
well, that doesn't help. That definitely doesn't help. But previously, I had a 24-hour fitness membership, and it was right down the road, and they had a full court basketball. That has since closed, and I didn't realize it, but like no gyms have basketball courts anymore. And I understand why.
because of fights.
There was a fist fight in that
Yeah.
fucking gym every single day.
What I want to
Gets
go.
heated on it. You guys
Oh,
get heated about
man.
it. Basketball, huh?
Oh,
Melissa wants
honestly,
to go watch.
I'll watch.
Legit, there's no place hornier for girls than watching a pickup basketball game. The amount of,
She's like,
I don't know. Because
amount of
sometimes the
testosterone
way
flowing through
they
there.
move and stuff is kind of like
Yeah, but
They're
like
That's on them though.
that is
That's
on
the
them.
unathletic
You get to
ones.
pick and choose which
Okay.
guy's your alpha, but like you can guarantee someone's gonna get nose to nose at some point. There's gonna be pushing. There's gonna be shoving.
Why do I want to see them nose to nose?
It's just a
And then you're gonna
very.
fight.
It's
Gonna
it's
kiss?
it's just
Yes.
kiss.
Yes.
Gonna see some kissing on the
It's
court.
it's just a very.
Leave it all out there. Leave it all out there.
I'm imagining this happening where like someone gets
like-
in a fight, Melissa's in the back, it's like kiss, kiss, kiss.
They're kissing. They're like, whoa, whoa.
Could you imagine they're nose to nose, ready to just like throw blows, and one just gives them a little
Yeah,
peck on the
that
cheek?
happens in the
UFC,
UFC.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
yeah.
good.
It's always the Brazilian. I don't know why. I don't know what
Sarah
that
Herring's
means.
husband knocked somebody out for that.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Kissing
we've
him?
actually seen this clip.
Is he a
Guapo's
fighter?
played it before.
Yeah, he was fighting in
Oh, cool.
Japan, and
Great.
the guy got really close to him, nose to nose.
And kissed him?
He just kissed him, and then he just knocked him out before the fight even started.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
based.
All right, so I have a question for you all posed by Chris Moneymaker, and to me, this is I haven't eaten cereal in quite a long time,
Oh.
but like this is always a telltale sign if somebody's a psychopath or not.
The milk.
Yeah.
Oh, this.
What
It's
goes
always
in first, milk or cereal?
Cereal goes
Cereal.
first.
Cereal.
Always
Okay,
the
yeah.
cereal.
Who would ever choose milk? 95.7% cereal.
Yeah,
course.
because you need to cover all the pieces.
It's just very clear that 3% of people are fucking psycho.
It's
I don't
funny.
eat
It's like,
cereal
have you
anymore.
ever seen the thing where it's like, do you put both socks on and then your shoes, or do you put one sock on, then a shoe, then another sock, and then a shoe? Like, what are you talking about?
like these systems are simple. How do you find a way to fuck them up?
Right.
It's
These
crazy.
systems.
I used to do my
baked in.
cereal. I would always have to let it sit, and I liked it mushy.
Oh, I just think about like mushy Lucky
I
Charms.
used to eat mushy rice,
just the worst.
Cocoa Krispies.
I know some people that like eat cereal with
Fruity
like
Pebbles.
never with
Fruity
never
Pebbles
had
mushy
milk,
is good.
just eat it
Chocolate
dry.
ones.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I've done that
It's just
before.
sugar.
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Fruity-
But like I think like if you're like
Snack.
snacking on it, but
Yeah.
like pour it into a bowl and then eat it
Oh,
dry.
that's a bit weird.
Mushy Fruity Pebbles are so good.
Yeah, using a spoon is a little unhinged, but like you know, Chex Mix is just cereal turned into a snack.
true.
Pebbles
yeah.
are good mushy.
I, used-
Pebbles are very good.
I had a
mushy.
cereal bowl where you put the milk in the cereal, but there's a straw attached to the bowl, so you could
Oh.
drink the cereal
That's-
milk.
Yeah. Well, there's like
Okay.
I've seen
They
seen
used to
those.
have
Yeah.
the cereal straws too.
Nothing's better than cinnamon toast crunch milk at the end. It's
CTCs.
Like,
Apparently,
good.
that's what breast milk tastes like.
What? Like cinnamon?
oh no
Apparently, it tastes like cinnamon toast crunch.
There's
Nobody
no
believes that.
way.
I think there's something
All right,
wrong
well,
with
you
there.
guys can try mine whenever.
We're just
I'll
gonna
give
order
you a glass.
we're-
A glass
One
each?
glass for the tiny house. For the tiny house.
That's my payment for letting me use the tiny house.
That's a
You
lot
don't
of-
buy
that's
no,
a
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
pumping.
I want the placenta.
No, that's expensive.
It's very
I'm
rich.
eating
So
the
was the
placenta.
tiny house.
It's very rich in HG.
What if
HCG.
what if you use some of the placenta profit for the tiny
I'm not
house?
selling it. I'm gonna eat it.
Okay.
But apparently they're like $1,200 per square inch.
It's a lot.
I don't know where I heard.
You could probably get the. You
I
could
heard
probably
that from a
buy back
placenta
the
guy.
tiny, the tiny house. You can buy it back,
Yeah, maybe.
or you could
Maybe.
eat it.
I think I will eat it. Placenta sandwiches for everyone.
Do you cook it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's on the menu at Prime down at
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Placenta.
right next to the wake.
Mm.
Wagyu.
While we're on the
Yummy.
topic of cooking, let's take a look at who's cooking today in the poker Twitter sphere.
Nice segue.
Jumped out with my soul leaking, going hard till I'm so eating. No chatting and no speaking, no deafing with slow breathing. Damn homie, you the man, homie. They can't do it.
It was
but you
71 in
can,
here, and I
homie.
put it on
All right,
70.
let's take a look. We got a couple people who are cooking today, and they're not only cooking, but they are cooking because they're not eating. One Josh Arye. Look at this glow up.
Wow.
Look at that definition in his arm.
Yeah,
The
look-
Landon Tice-esque glow up.
Check out that delt and the fucking tricep.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Also, got to give a shout out to the hair.
Yeah.
Bro has nice silver fox hair.
Yeah, he
Like,
does.
This
It's
is a good
thick.
head of
He
hair.
has thick
Yeah.
hair.
While we're on,
Great job.
great job, Josh. We're really proud of you.
Good job,
Good
Josh.
job. Yeah. Wait, hey, you're doing it, buddy. You're doing it. Another member of Team Lucky, one Sean D. But we kind of gave him his kudos whenever it first came out. You gotta scroll down, Guap.
I can't see.
Yeah, Guap, you gotta scroll. Guap, you gotta scroll.
Guap,
You
scroll
gotta scroll
down.
down,
Just go
Guap. Guap, you gotta scroll down. You still gotta scroll down, bro. You're not.
Why is he not scrolling?
Why is he
down?
not scrolling down?
I don't know.
Hey, there it is.
What are you talking about?
We kind of gave him his kudos whenever he finally got the buyout, but his most recent interview just came out with Poker.org, and Craig Tapscott.
Wow, he looks much better with the grooming.
Yeah. So he was talking about how it was a part of the plan that he was going to grow the hair out, grow the beard out, because it counted as weight and added like density to the DEXA scan. So when he shaves it off, obviously now he just has more lean muscle mass. He was really gaming the system. He was ready for it, but he does claim that he's still going to try to get to 17%. We're all rooting for Sean. I spoke to him a little bit like a week ago or so. He said he's happy to come on at some point. So when we have a down day, definitely going to try to have that. But pretty sick glow up for him as well.
Yeah.
315, I think, to 225,
Wow.
223-ish.
Sick.
Almost
90
100
pounds,
pounds.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a
him.
human.
That's almost me.
Yeah, that's
You
a
lost,
full
you
blown
lost to
human.
Melissa.
Almost.
Wow.
Used to be.
Wow. Congratulations. It's amazing what $1 million will motivate a man to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not like good health or
And
being
you
in-
could do that if you go on the dating show.
Can I?
Maybe.
Well, I don't think there's going to be $1 million hanging at the end of the tunnel. And
Well,
let's
you'll
be
have to
honest.
split it like 11 ways.
What's at the end of the tunnel is priceless. A happy life.
Oh, really? You think
Your reality TV
Yeah, sure.
girlfriend.
Yep.
I'm gonna end up like Chris Williamson off of Fuckboy Island or whatever the hell he was on.
He's gonna be on like 7 iterations of Bachelor in Paradise. Thinking, this guy again? Isn't he aged out
They
by
bring him
now?
back to the All Stars. Yeah.
Honestly, it's funny.
He aged out. in the pool.
I kind of like cringe watch Chris Williamson's pod, but I actually really like it. I think the reason why I cringe watch it is because he's just
I don't know who that is.
So he was on Love Island and
Oh.
was just basically like a fuckboy kind of persona, whatever. And he's now turned podcaster.
See, our podcast could really get a boost from this.
Yes, of course. But what I really enjoy about him is he's actually like very like mindful, well-spoken, clearly relatively intelligent, but he's also like kind of pilled in a certain direction, and like you can't help it. If you do 300 episodes of a show, you're just going to kind of give your biases, whatever.
Yeah.
But the reason why I cringe watch him is because he's just like a fucking reality TV star turned podcast. Like he's a derivative of Rogan at this point. It's just kind of funny to see that path. We have one more person who's cooking.
Oh.
He wasn't cooking earlier this week. Earlier this week, he was in the muck. But now we find the man's wearing the chef hat. He's in the kitchen. Tom Dwan, congratulations for signing with ACR Poker. Man, they just have no fucking standards over there any longer. It's incredible. I mean, how in the same week do you have your CEO taking virtual dicks in the mouth and then immediately sign a guy who's on record as to owing 7 figures in the community? Like,
It is pretty insane.
the PR team over there needs as much of
I
an
don't
over.
think there is one.
I think
if there is,
if there is,
He's cooking too.
I'll tell you this: if there's a PR team at ACR, they're sneaking a lot by the goalie. You know,
there is definitely not one. There's no chance there is a PR team.
The PR team at ACR should meet the production team at Bally, and they
Yes.
should go into business together
And
to
make
just
the
run
worst
something into the
product
ground.
in the world.
Just fucking incredible, man. I mean, who is making these high-level decisions? It's like the inmates are running
Well,
the
it's
asylum.
the person that was just in that video.
Fair. Very fair point. Cook on, my friends. Cook on. The chefs are cooking with grease, and we're all here for it. Congratulations to everyone involved.
Cooking with grease. They're cooking with the grease
You're
trap.
cooking with grease, and Rudy's right behind them.
Yeah.
All right, one more question before we get into a more serious discussion.
Very serious show.
How do you guys feel about paying the bubble in small buy-in events? You know, the camaraderie of it all.
No, that's not the point of it.
Kind of like checking in the
Camaraderie
dark.
is not what you do in tournaments.
I mean, it's kind of like checking in the dark. You know, it's fun.
It's like
fun for
imagine if
everyone.
everybody in the main event gave the Bubble Boy $10.
why don't we just chop on level
Well,
one?
they give the bubble boy a
See it
buy-in.
anyways. Yeah. But that's part of the
You can roll the clip. Well,
kind of sick.
Oh,
You should
sorry.
play so much differently if you know you're
Rob's
getting it
spaced
behind
out.
that.
He's in La La Land.
I mean, he's pulling double duty here.
I got you.
Scroll down.
If you're in that position, are you bubble at poker tournament? If you don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of times in smaller tournaments, only 15 people get paid, for example, and there's 16 left. It stays hand for hand forever. Finally, somebody just raises their hand and says, can we just agree to pay the bubble? So what they do is they take a small amount and they make it so a 16th person gets paid. That way, the tournament can continue on, no more hand for hand, and everybody's happy. Almost everybody. Obviously, if you have a short stack, this is a super easy decision. But if you're a chip leader, that money's coming out of your potential prize pool. If you're in that position, are you agreeing to pay the bubble, or are you saying no way? Do you agree to pay the bubble in poker
Nikki
tournament?
Nikki says it's not fun to pay the bubble. Apparently, she's never been the bubble boy. I got to tell you, it sounds like it'd be a lot of fun to get a refund.
No,
you know?
she just final tables.
you-
why would she pay the bubble?
Have you ever have you, who here has cashed the main? Me and Lamana. No one else? So you guys don't know the experience of the main event bubble?
Sick brag.
It's a fucking house party. It's literally a house party. There are 990 people not playing hands, walking around the room.
Fun. I gotta get there this year.
Honestly, it's a block party. It's legitimately a block party. There's security.
You guys saw. I gave you the play-by-play. I was on the scene last year.
That is true.
On the scene.
That's true. There's 100 tables with security in the aisle. People are bumping elbows, walking. Hey, how you been?
Speaker.
How you been, Tim? Yeah, things are good. Yeah, things are great here. Yeah, just waiting for this fucking hand to play out.
Right, and everybody and all like the TDs just like. Everybody, stay in your seats. Stay in your
But like
seats.
700 people don't
Do
listen.
not stand on the chairs.
Never listen.
They're all trying to see what's going on. And then the second the bubble burst, it's an eruption of joy. A lot of fun.
It is.
Sounds like a ton of fun.
It one day.
Maybe if we just paid the bubble boy, we could experience this fun faster.
They do pay the bubble boy.
I've never been in a tournament where like someone was like, let's pay the bubble.
I actually have a funny story of this. At the Brigada in like, I don't know, 2010, something like that. We were on the bubble of a 1K, and I had all the chips. And there was like, I think 36 cash, 37 were left, and it was taking quite some time. So, of course, in typical East Coast fashion, and this is something that I like to reiterate as often as I can. Since moving to the West Coast, I notice a huge difference in the type of people I come across. On the West Coast, everybody appears incredibly nice. So the truth is that they are nice, but not friendly. Now, if you want to know what the difference between that is, nice is just a projection, right? It's just a tone,
or nice,
so to speak.
But not kind, maybe is better.
Well, no, because
friendly is sort of also a projection.
Well, I'm gonna flip it to the East Coast. Nothing about maybe kind. I guess you could use kind, but anyway, it's just it's a layer. But the truth is, they want to cut your head off at all costs. On the East Coast, nobody is nice. No one is nice.
But they're definitely
they call you
not friendly.
Well, they are. Deep down, they're looking out for their neighbors. They care about one another.
They're kind. Friendly is more, outward. Like
I mean, they open doors. They're
not going to introduce themselves to you like randomly.
No, of course not, because that would be nice.
That would be friendly.
Well, maybe. All right, fine. Fine. Whatever. If you want to.
It's kind.
Okay, fine.
Nice,
it's kind.
yeah.
What the fuck ever. Jesus Christ.
It's an important distinction here.
I don't think it is. But anyway, the point is that they are very much themselves. They're very blunt. They're to the point. They'll let you have it, but they're doing it from the kindness of their heart, their goodness of their heart, whatever. So we're on the bubble with this 1K, and it's just me and a bunch of Jersey people. And I have all the chips, and they're like, let's pay the bubble. And I said, absolutely not. And now 35 angry people are letting me fucking have it. And I'm just like, play on. Finally, the bubble burst, whatever. I don't know where I ended up getting. But the next day, I was playing another event, and the guy who bubbled was at my table. And apparently, everybody who was left in the event, it must have been like a bigger buy-in. But everybody who was left in the event gave him $200, except for me. I was the only holdout. So he's at my table, and he tells me that everybody gave him $200. So like, $7K or whatever. And I go,
nice, congrats.
Okay. He goes, can I have it? And I paid this idiot.
Yeah, of course
I
you
gave
did.
him $200.
Social pressure, man.
Yeah, I felt like a victim of social pressure. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe that it happened. Or maybe it was $100 or $80. I don't remember what it was, but the whole point was it was an insignificant amount of money, but I didn't even get my way. Because he got that money, I didn't get to play the fucking bubble anyway. It all got ruined.
Yeah.
So no, don't pay the fucking bubble.
He should have paid you $200.
Yeah, I agree. I got cheated as the chip leader.
You should find that guy and tell him.
I wish I knew who it was.
He owes you $400.
I have no fucking idea.
If you're in the chat, let us know.
Yeah. under no circumstances does it make any sense to pay the bubble.
He will
I
come
don't
bounty
think.
hunt you for $400.
This is what we sign up for. Somebody has to experience pain. And it shouldn't be the guy who soft bubbled.
Well, at what point does it end? Because now if you know the soft bubble's getting paid, is it the guy after that?
That's right. Tell
is
him.
it the guy after that?
Preach.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it the guy after that?
Right.
Or the guy after that?
Let's just chop level 2.
It's funny because
As soon as you buy in, you can chop. As soon as you put $3,500 in, you can be like, you know what? I want my $3,500.
well, it's kind of funny because the person who bubbles right before on the main event is the true bubble because for years now that the actual person who bubbles the stone bubble gets an entry into the next year's main event. So it's essentially they get like 10,000 in equity.
The good news is that it's rarely just one person. They often flip for it. So
That's
at least
true,
it's a
too.
little bit more fair.
Yeah,
they
now that the fields are
split
so
it.
huge,
Yeah. Did you guys happen to catch Big Poppy's return to
No.
the
Back?
to the mics?
He and Doug back at it again.
He
We're
and the
locked
Supreme Leader are locked in. They did a
in.
2.5 hour podcast.
I'm not as interested in the podcast. Let me know when there's a 12-hour stream.
Agreed. Especially when the podcast is literally just like a timeline of everything we've covered in the last month, and Doug getting most of the details wrong. Like he's just kind of like, yeah, I mean, a GG. They should use an RNG instead of just having a predetermined river so that somebody can't hack it. And it's like, well, that's not what happened. But okay, let's pretend like it was. But anyway, he did put out an issue, or he issued a challenge to Postle, and this I actually think is like really sharp for a couple reasons. One, I think it's like genius for Lodge marketing strategy. But two, I definitely think that it really puts the did he or did he not cheat question to bed. So Doug said he will stake Postle at 1-3 in similar games to what they were playing in Sacramento at the Lodge. Everybody's there splashing, playing deep, et cetera, and Postle can keep whatever he wins. The whole thing that we'll try to take away from it is a similar sample and see if he plays rivers perfectly as he did
Great idea.
in Stones. I think it's a great idea.
Very sharp.
Yeah.
Matt and Doug on the same page.
Bro,
Best bros.
This is genius.
It is.
Wait,
It's
how
really
is this
good.
not just a free roll for Postle?
Well, it is.
It is a
Why does
free
he deserve a free roll?
Because we're paying him
We
to
wanted
admit
to
to being
take
a
it.
cheater.
I
And
don't
he's
like
not
that.
gonna take
I don't
it.
like that at all. We all know he's a cheater. We don't
Tortoise
need to give
wants
him
the free
extra
roll
money.
instead.
No.
Just for him to admit it. We know.
You
You're
can stake
also-
the turtle too.
Hold on, Turtle. How much of a free roll is it to back a losing player to begin with?
I mean, a free roll's a free roll, What if he runs hot?
Let him fucking run hot. Then he wins a couple $1,000.
Maybe he's not a losing player in a 1-3 game.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying it's a 1-3 game. Maybe he's not a losing
standing
player.
for this.
No, he's not
The
happy.
the most passionate I've seen
He
him
wants,
take
he
it.
wants his
Yeah.
goddamn free roll.
Where the fuck's
Yeah,
my free roll?
Well, give the honest guy a free roll. Jesus.
Passionate about this or dark checking?
I think for
Where's my free money, Doug?
I think for a couple $1,000 and free Lodge promotion, because everybody will watch
Oh,
that
yeah,
stream
everyone will watch.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's a small price to pay.
But it's also calling his bluff. Like he's like, oh, I would win at the same rate. It's like, okay,
No,
show
he,
us.
he should
Right.
just crossbook.
Huh?
Well, Postle doesn't have any money.
That's bad.
If he had money, he would be paying Veronica.
Let's just
Where's
put
all
him on
that cheating
Poker Out
money
Loud.
you got? Where'd that go?
I don't think we're gonna learn anything from him being on Poker Out Loud. Thoughts as valuable as what he
Okay,
possesses.
if I remember correctly,
He would definitely cheat poker out loud.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
It's the easiest thing to cheat.
It is. He would not be playing music.
Yeah, so I think that he has Queen
That would be
10 here.
actually pretty funny.
I'm actually
Oh,
gonna
man.
let this one go.
well, I mean, he did do some hand review in the booth one time at Stones where he said he had fuzzy feelings, he had feeler bets.
They were
Oh,
incredible.
lots of feelings.
Honestly, like, this is aging like sour milk. But if ever somebody, and the thing with the poker community is there's a lot of this that's like available for like people who want to create content but don't have their foot in the space yet. Like if you're an amateur documentary maker, kind of like what Phil Galfon's been doing. Obviously, it's not specifically him as a team, but these like 19-minute long docs, kind of like portraying poker history. Like, oh, do you guys know about the lore of Isildur? It's like your generation probably just doesn't, and that documentary does a lot to like bring it back to the forefront where it's like, yeah, this guy was a fucking sicko, right? If somebody actually wants to put the time and effort in to comb back through 6 weeks of Joey live streaming 24/7, to go back through this Stones live coverage, to pull. I mean, they
sure
will
there
get
is like a compilation somewhere.
somebody who's good at this could make a remarkable short documentary, like an incredible 30 minutes of just like must-see TV.
Can I just say something real quick?
He's hung up on this free
Where's my free roll?
Speaking of, putting the milk in first and the psychoness of people. Did you see that clip? Was Postle drinking a salted rim martini? What kind of psychopath?
That is his
drinks
worst
a
crime
salted
yet.
rim martini.
Straight to jail.
What the hell
Yep.
is going on?
You're right, Brian. Of all the things that he did, of all the crimes
could
this
he do
man's
that?
committed,
Yeah, he is actually.
Yeah.
What's in
That's
there?
a salted rim martini.
maybe
Yeah,
it's
it
sugar.
looks like a dirty martini.
Maybe it's
too.
sugar.
Sugar in a dirty martini.
martini?
I actually,
Come
that's
on.
not a
I don't know
thing.
anything about alcohol. I have no fucking clue.
Definitely not a thing.
Either way, if it's salt or sugar, that is weird.
Yeah. Or he's drinking a margarita in a martini glass. I don't know.
There's olives.
That-
in
you know
there.
what?
That's what I thought. I
Olives.
thought there was olives
Yeah.
in there. Right?
Something tells me that that's more probable. Maybe
Yeah.
they just didn't have.
Hey, no, there were
No, there were
olives,
olives
in
in
there.
there.
Okay. Well, he might have been hungry.
All right. Oh, you put olives in a margarita. That's more
It's
psychopathic.
even worse. I'll take 2 olives in my
I'd rather-
margarita
yeah.
in a martini glass too, please.
Tortoise has had enough of this
Look
shit.
at that. That's disgusting.
He's like, of all the most ridiculous.
It's
That looks like a lime to
extra
me.
dirty martini with 2 olives and sugar on the rim or salt.
Or salt. Yeah. Maybe it's bath salts. That could explain
Could
a
be
lot.
bath
Yeah,
salts.
maybe.
Also, look at the void in his hat from where the device used
Yeah,
to be.
look at
Oh my God.
Oh my God, yes.
Bro, are you serious?
No, for sure.
It's stretched.
Yeah.
For sure it's
Yeah.
stretched.
It might still be in there.
It's probably in there.
Man, he was just ahead of his time. Neuralink is right around the road.
Those
could've
bone
fucking-
conducting.
Oh my God. I actually, James Board brought a pair of them into Ivy's room way back like 2015. And he goes, you got to try this,
I love
mate.
that guy.
He's so great. He's so fun.
Favorite guy to
Honestly, he's one of the best people ever. But he's like, you have to try this. I go, what is it? He's like, bone conducting headphones. And I'm like, okay. So he goes, you put them on your temple. And I like put these things on, and he turns the music on, and I'm like, Jesus Christ!
Loud?
It was turned up, so it was obviously loud, but it was the strangest sensation where it felt like the whole room was drowned out,
Wow.
and nothing's covering my ears.
That's
it was
cool.
yeah, it was a weird sensory experience.
I think we got to try it. You
Yeah.
just got to get one. Try it sometime.
Maybe we'll get them instead of these headphones for the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Cacophony.
Because
I-
there wouldn't be any cacophony.
Am I the only one who hears like a very subtle echo?
I heard something.
Okay. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
There
I
was
thought
like
I was
a
losing
man's voice or something.
What did you hear?
There, the last tangent, I swear. But there was this device that was being created, and I still think that it's like in the testing phase or the beta phase. But this was like 5 or 6 years ago when we first developed Poker Out Loud, and it's this like Bane mask that you wear with your phone propped in the front of it. Like you can't see it. Your phone's behind it though. And it allows you to have a fully silent conversation where only you and the person on the phone can hear.
Interesting.
But it, crazy. Here we are 6 years later, and it just never made it to the mass market.
Yeah.
But I think that would have been an interesting,
Kind of cool.
switch to Poker Out Loud.
Yeah.
Everybody's, they give Ike shit. Imagine you show up in this fucking Darth Vader mask. I think it would be quite interesting. All right, let's get to today's In the Muck. Nice.
Okay, we are in the muck again. We got another user submission. This comes from G Sarker? G Sarker? I don't know. How do you say that?
You Sarker.
G
Sarker
Sarker 34.
Okay, they're playing in a 1-3 game. 6-handed. Under the gun goes ahead and opens to 10. And we have King. Yeah, I am hearing an echo now. We have King 6 of spades, and we decide to 3-bet to 30, folds back around to original opener, who calls, and the flop comes 10 of spades, deuce of spades, 3 of hearts, so we flop a flush draw. Checks to us. We lead for Third pot, 20 into 64. We're met with a call. Turn, 5 of diamonds, now giving us a gutter to go with our flush draw. Check, and now we go pot for 100. And we're met with another call. Now the river, we brick out with a 7 of clubs. The board reads 10 of spades, deuce of spades, 3, 5, 7. And checks to us, and we have pot behind, and we decide to check down.
Ooh.
And so he said, he asked miss bluff question mark. He says post hand thoughts. I was setting up a river all in, but when he called the turn to my pot sizing, he said I chickened out because of a recent submission where missed flush draws are bad bluffs.
That's
am
true.
I
it's
misplaying this principle? And they said, on the other hand, I unblock missed ace high flush draws, but wasn't sure if they were calling turn and thought that they would have check raise frequencies on the flop. The villain ended up having ace of spades, king of diamonds.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. So
ace high as well, called pot on the turn
because you're blocking the hands that you would want him to have, including like straight draws too.
I actually think both hands are played pretty reasonably. King 6 just fold pre.
I was gonna say king 6 to an under a gun raise, like
low jack.
I was like that seems.
Get yourself out of the spot.
Probably not a 3-bet spot. I mean, king 6 is like the GTO kings, but not in this formation.
GTO kings.
you,
It's
Turtle.
It's open from low jack. But I don't
Turtle
think
is
it's-
cooking.
Yeah.
Let the
Yeah,
turtle
we like
cook.
opening this hand. We don't like
so
3-betting
I think principally speaking,
GTO king.
you like that?
GTO king.
I think principally speaking, your spades that would want to go off here for 3 would tend to river a pair. So it's going to be like your lowish spades.
Yeah.
So like 7, 6, 6, 5. Basically, all these hands are going to end up being a pair on the end, and they're just going to have too much showdown value to bluff, I think. You very comfortably could double some of the like ace high, king high type hands, but the thing is that they are just kind of value betting, pushing a lot of equity. So if you have like king, queen of spades, ace, jack of spades, hands like that, you could probably double them. You could also just like not, specifically because what I'm going to get at is I think that we have a big bet option available to us on this flop.
I was thinking that.
I think high-low spades are going to be the ones that we want to choose, as well as like the small spades. So if we have like 4, 5 of spades, 5, 6 of spades, 6, 7 of spades,
Yeah.
I think those are going to be in there. And then I think like if we have some high-low combos like ace 4 of spades, which is a gut shot, if we ever have the king 6 of spades, I think these are going to fit pretty nicely into the large 2E or 3E sizing that will be married with our jacks, queens, kings, and aces. And that will make for a very natural either check back on the turn or give up on the river. As played, though, I think that this is very fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fold pre. It sucks to lose the ace king high, but I actually think ace king plays his hand well because you shouldn't be doubling for pot very often with the nut flush draw, and he blocks ace 4, ace 5 that could potentially be doing it for value.
What was the turn card?
The
5.
4 or 5?
It was a 5
Five.
of diamonds, so ace 4 does get there.
Right, but he now blocks that having the ace of spades. So like
Right.
him having the ace of spades is actually a pretty good event because you're not doubling for pot really with many nut flush draws.
Right.
When you do, they're either
We're gonna check
pair
back
plus
a
or
lot.
straight.
So when he goes pot, so I would think so if I'm sitting there with the ace of spades in my hand, as the villain in this situation, and now he bets pot, I'm thinking that he's more concentrated to the over pairs as to the nut flush draws because I'm blocking that, so that would make me want to fold the ace king.
The nut flush draws just aren't really going to do this very often.
They're just not going to pot turn.
Check back equity position.
Yeah, and because your nut flush draws should be like ace jack, ace queen, ace king, right? And then the other ones,
You also just win it. You have showdown value with those too.
right? So they have a fair amount of showdown value, especially coming through the small flop size. And then the other ones are going to be your wheel aces, which are now straights and pairs.
Yeah.
So kind of the same thing.
Okay.
And now, if any of them are going to bet pot on the turn, it's probably going to be more the wheel ones, which it's now nice to block, right? Because now your outs are a lot more clean.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right that he's going to have a concentration to over pairs. But remember, he also chose the small size on the flop. So
Yeah.
that's
It probably doesn't. Yeah, jacks and queens would
he'll-
not want to go small on that flop.
he'll have
Depending on-
over pairs for
Kings
that
even,
size,
yeah.
but a lower concentration of them, I would
Right.
think.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think, Mr. Simboy? How do you feel about our analysis before we go to the wizard?
Yeah, do we?
Some things right, some things less right.
King 6 is the GTO
King
Kings,
6,
right?
that you could take that one to the bank, Brian. So when it comes to flop strategy,
Brando, I don't want to interrupt you, buddy. Can you share your screen?
I thought I did. Did I not share my screen?
No, we just have us. They don't want to see us. They want to see the wizard.
All right, I share the screen.
You share screen.
Is pre-flop what's
pre-flop is a fold pre, so I gave it quarter. I gave it
Okay.
25%.
Okay.
Pre-flop fold pre. Good job, guys. High
you.
floating
Thanks.
lead. You're welcome. So this is the theory one, and then this one over here is the custom size. Like B30 is not the right size, but we're kind of
Is it
splitting hairs.
B60?
This is B30.
But
So,
the size.
This is
You're supposed to
theory
bet?
likes for one sizing like dynamic strategy, 40% pot, and it's
Okay.
because the 3 and the deuce are so low
Uh-huh.
that we don't have to leverage flop. We can leverage turn, where they're gonna have a lot of middling pairs that have to peel or like not peel and be mad already, versus 40 where like you call sixes with no spade on flop. What are we hoping for? Like
Yeah. Right.
sometimes you turn equity and then you face pot. It's like, well,
Right.
fuck me. So you just fold if you don't have a spade, facing B40 for the low jack player, as well as check raising a lot of the ace highs that you guys were saying was going to happen, and as well as what's his name? Sparker, some Parker,
Sparky.
Sparky. All right, Sparky.
Sparky 34.
Yeah, Sparky 34. So the most you're gonna check raise like the ace X with overcards to the 10, like ace jack being a nice one, ace queen being a nice one, and then ace king for out of position, still mostly floating, sometimes raising if they have a spade in their hand, where you have extra equity, you can make a flush on some runouts. But he goes B30, which is obviously not that big of a deal. The EV difference is going to be nothing. So we can just like go to the custom sim, B30, base a call, turn 5. So when under the gun or low jack checks, we see here that we're playing roughly a geometric strategy on the turn of pot or check, king 6 being a pure barrel, which is, these spots always kind of mess me up, where I would think like, oh, sometimes I might want to check this hand because we have so much equity with a gutter and a flush draw, where if we jam, or if we pot and get jammed on, that's really nasty.
Yeah.
Because now we have to fold all of our
That's what I
equity,
was thinking.
which ends up happening facing like if we do go pot and he jams.
I would imagine it's
We
based
just-
off of like what he jams though. Like we're just not doing well, even with the gut shot and flush draw there.
Yeah, like our high cards suck.
Well, he's supposed to jam. We're also just getting it in versus potentially dominating flush draws like ace queen of spades.
That's my point. Our equity's not doing well versus the hands that choose to jam. It's like sets and then bigger flush
Sets,
draws.
So you're
Bigger
saying we're not
fail.
actually folding as much equity as it
Correct.
appears.
We weren't going to realize like what we're sacrificing in realization was actually kind of dirty anyway.
Yeah, the
Okay.
only like swell thing that happens almost never is ace 5 of clubs like decides to just go
Yeet
all
it
in
off, yeah.
because why not?
Yeah.
Landon, this is the theory tab we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, no, this is the practical tab where, I mean, he bet pot on the turn as well. So like he chose a good size on the turn. Like the theory tab is also potting the turn. Like here, king 6, you're potting when you have spades. You don't want hearts because you want him to have the backdoor hearts that call the flop 40 and then fold the turn. So hearts are a very nasty turn barrel. Bad idea. Don't do that. Sometimes you make a straight with a 4 and cooler an ace anyways, and that's nice. But then the other suits are better. But when it looks at, like, I think it's also a stack depth thing where at 150, and you pot and get jammed on versus at 100, if you go smaller and get jammed on, you're folding out maybe a little bit more equity or things along those lines.
Right.
But I can, it's probably just like a stack depth thing where at 200, when you get the jam, when they jam on you, it's like what Matt is saying with all the better hands, that you're not folding that much equity away, and you are benefiting a lot from getting like pocket nines to fold, getting ace highs to fold, which is going to happen more at that stack depth. So we go back to the theory tab. So we bet pot and under the gun has ace king actually folds on the turn. So he can't call the turn. If he wanted to play a jam with a low frequency jam with the ace of spades, king of hearts, as you can see here in this bottom corner. Yeah, you can do that if you want. But part of the issue being like what Brian is talking about, where if you look at the hijack range, the pot is going to be mostly queens plus, like the over pairs, 10x, as well as your ace out not being clean, or your king out even, because 10x, king 10, ace 10 is mostly going to be barreling the turn. So if you river a king or an ace, your out is actually just dead.
Right.
So ace king actually has to start folding the turn for under the gun. But on a 7, when under the gun checks, the hijack actually pure checks the king 6 of spades because it's a bad bluff.
Hey, look at that.
Like you guys were talking about. And same thing here. Like the only difference between the theory sim and the practical sim in this spot was just the flop size being 30% versus 40 because he chose a good size on the turn. Where in some other examples, sometimes people go a little bit too small and like they go B67 on the turn.
Right.
That's going to give a little bit of a different output. But this one's like very close, almost
Landon,
perfect.
You should take a lot of pride in this. Well, this man may have been a little out of line pre, and I'll take responsibility for that. You know what, G-man.
Sparky.
G-man?
G-Sarker.
G-Spot 27.
Right.
I will take full responsibility for you being a little too wide in this 3-bet no because you know what? I'm fucking here for it. If you're playing small stakes,
You've done this many
This guy
a time.
did not 4-bet ace king. Fuck these guys.
Right. That's the thing. No, that's why.
Fuck them.
You're absolutely right. This is why you can do. You can.
Jack.
You can really expand your range in these like smaller.
Look, here's the thing.
Listen, I look at each other like,
You guys are pussies, okay? Look, you guys are
What
cowards.
was telling me I can't play I can't play 6-5
Hold
suited
on.
properly.
I have a bone to pick with that. We just simply respect the early position open.
Respect the low jack.
But you shouldn't. You shouldn't because a couple good things happen. One,
okay, boomer.
One, they don't 4-bet enough. You don't get to call me old whenever you're fucking not out there doing it. One, they don't 4-bet enough. And 2, they don't 4-bet enough. So when 10s fold behind you and ace king doesn't 4-bet versus you, it's just a positive event.
Though. It's not supposed to always 4-bet you.
Yeah, it mixes if you know what the fuck you're doing. But if you have no idea what you're doing, you just call ace king.
You have no idea what you're doing, you should 4-bet?
Yes, absolutely. You don't want to forego the value of ace king because you might fold it later. Like if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to check fold a later street.
But they actually didn't.
Well,
it was
yeah,
just kind of funny in this
which
situation.
Ironically also
they
ends
were
up being,
supposed to fold
but it
the
also
turn.
ends up being a mistake.
Right, they were supposed to fold the turn and then they didn't, and that's what makes this the non bluff is fine. It's like when you see ace king, you're like like if I had just jammed, he would have folded ace king. I think, but you know the fact that like he's just supposed to have hands that by the time you get to the river, he's supposed to have hands that aren't going to fold to your bluff enough.
The point I'm trying to make here is like, look, I like to see people out there in the mix trying to do the damn thing and put people in tough spots. And what's most important that I think is worth recognizing is that the people behind him are nowhere near close to 4-betting appropriately. Like when 9s and 10s are just auto mucking always when they see raise 3-bet, that's a really good event for whatever.
Those two, it's supposed to. Like 9. You're not supposed to 4-bet 9.
What's this supposed to bullshit?
Man,
it's called a chart. You ever read one?
It's called a chart, boomer.
It's very scary in the spot.
It's really tight ranges.
To like when you look at the turn, even.
You know what? I'm piling in. Give me JBEX.
Like when
just give me fucking JBEX. I want all the JBEX stock. I'm shorting Landon so fucking hard. Like
no, I'm just looking at this response. Like when you pot the turn, they're supposed to like pure fold jacks and queens. They're supposed to mix.
This shit doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm not saying it does. It's just like very interesting. Like it's just the hijack is supposed to be pretty tight with the rake structure, and when they barrel the turn, it's mostly going to be like.
Right now, let's get out of Delulu land for a second. Let's come back to reality.
It's very weird, right?
What
you
happens?
Ace 10 and you get queens to fold.
What happens is
that is weird.
What are we doing here? It is rather odd.
Well,
I don't think that
because the machine is as afraid of their range as you guys are. But
I'm not afraid. It's just respectable.
It's not fear. It's respect.
Okay, I'm glad you guys are framing it that way because if you go down to the local casino and sit in a 1-3 or 2-5 game and look any one of those motherfuckers in the face and decide to respect them, that's on you.
I respect the average old guys under the gun open.
You shouldn't. You really should.
Yeah, you should.
And we don't know this guy's
maybe
old.
you got to go play 1-3.
Yeah, we don't.
Maybe you got to go play 1-3.
We don't. How did you think I got here? You think that
you
I
said
just
you've
fucking
never
jumped
played
into
1-2 in your life?
I said that I would never go play 1-2.
No, I think you pretty much said
you
you've
said
never.
you've never played it.
I never have played it like for a living.
Right.
No.
It's time to start.
I was smart.
It's time to start.
But I've played plenty of 1-2. What I'm getting at here is, first of all, we don't know this guy's old. Second of all, like the idea the idea of respecting ranges comes from the notion of those ranges being studied. Like, yeah, of course, if that's a super pro opening under the gun, you 3-bet king 6 suited.
It's like one of the first things people learn about. They're like, oh, tight from under the gun.
I don't mind the 3-bet for what it's worth. I thought it was going to potentially be in there a little bit, but more so just like looking at the response.
I don't think it's ever in there, but
I think the bigger point that Berkey's trying to make is that, like, when you expand your 3-bet range or you get a little out of line in these games, it's fine because you're not going to get punished for it at the rate that you should.
Well, it's also
You know
just
what I
like
mean?
when it comes to 3-betting in the first place, like you're 3-betting at X frequency, and maybe you don't 3-bet ace-8 suited, but then like you find king 6 or whatever.
Right.
Like the point just being like trying to find more 3-bets is going to serve you well.
generally, I just think
Right.
it's a fuck around and find out type of strategy. Like, when you guys start doing something about it, I will stop being fucking out of line. But until then, here we are.
Well, yeah, if it's you, then you just 4-bet.
Sure. But I mean,
Like
that's
if you're 3-betting, you just 4-bet.
but that's like the beauty, right?
Just
It's not,
stuff it.
but
Stuff it.
What's he gonna do with his friggin' 7-6 offsuit or whatever the hell he has?
7-6 offsuit.
Some
He's really
nasty
good.
ass limp raise that he did like from under the gun.
keep advertising for me. But anyway, the bigger point I was trying to take away, Landon, is you should be very proud. We are maybe 25 in the mucks in, and this man has clearly been paying attention to your astute
Yeah.
wizardry,
The give ups.
and he immediately heard Landon Tice in his head say, "No, don't bluff this one on the
This
river.
is a bad combo.
Bad combo. Bad cards.
Combo.
Bad cards."
combo.
Why do I sound like that?
You tell me.
I can't.
It's when you do your falsetto.
I always sing like this in the mornings.
It's a bad combo. I gotta go to the gym.
I think I got a shit.
All right.
So yes, you should be proud of yourself, Landon. You've bestowed wisdom upon the casual viewer now. So big shout out to GSpot67 for getting this one right.
You did good.
The wizard agrees. How did I say 67, not 69, man? I fucking blew that one.
You did.
Blew it.
That's on me, guys. I'm sorry. That makes me the asshole, which actually, before we segue into that, I got to remind everybody, if you guys would like to use Wizard AI the way that we have been doing in the Muck segment, feel free to hit hashtag Wizard in the chat, follow that affiliate link, and be sure to sign up for many, many, many years, because this tool is absolutely fundamental to your learning. If you'd like to submit your own In the Muck, be sure to head over to our Discord channel. You can hit hashtag Discord in the chat, or visit us at Solve4YTV on Twitter. It's our pinned comment. Follow that to our Discord channel. You will see an In the Muck forum where you can submit any and all of your In the Muck hand histories. Be sure to give us a little bit of a story. Let us know why you feel like you're in the muck. You know, treat this a bit like Dear Abby, if you will. Only instead, it's Dear Child of the Sim.
Oh, I
Also,
remember
there's a
this thing.
feature on Discord that I didn't even know about, but you can like redact part of your your message. So he redacted the like the reveal of the other
Right.
hand, and then also his thoughts.
Okay.
So then you can go ahead and give your thoughts without reading his and be biased. Then
No,
you just
that's
click
great.
on it and it reveals what he was thinking.
Spoiler, if you will.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Alert. Right. So that's a pretty cool feature
That
that I
is
didn't
great.
know that they had.
What were you going to say, Landon?
Nothing.
Okay.
You got it.
Well, while we're talking about assholes, since I am one, let's get into this final Reddit segment that we've been trying. This is the third time we've titled the show, Tell Me Your Wreck Without Telling Me. We're finally getting to this
Nikki
segment.
said, "Fucking do it,"
She
because I'm not
basically-
changing the title.
Yeah.
She basically, in as nice a way as possible, yelled at us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when she
Mom's
yells at
mad.
us, mom's mad.
Mommy's
We're
mad.
gonna do what she says.
So we're here.
we don't
We're
want to
gonna
get
do it.
grounded.
So we have a couple of Am I the Assholes, all
Mommy
poker
is
themed.
mad.
And then finally the Tell Me Your Wreck Without Telling Me line. So the first one is, am I the asshole for stealing my brother's dog? Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I can give you a brief synopsis. Basically, two brothers, 124, 126, very close.
This isn't poker.
Oh, it is. Don't
Oh,
worry.
okay.
He lost the dog. In
Lost her bet.
Both very close in age and seem to be very close individuals. They got drunk one night, started playing a little Texas Hold'em. Sounds like with wild cards, or maybe this is just the most ridiculous hand of all time. But And also maybe they don't. Well, I guess it could have been a steel wheel. So it appears as though the stakes got high. They were not playing table stakes. And the older brother bet his dog, which, to give a little precursor to this, the younger brother had been watching the dog, had grown very attached to it.
That's the ultimate penny jar.
Right. Wanted to get his own dog, but couldn't really find one that he was vibing with, you know? So he's holding a straight flush versus his brother's quad aces, and he accepted the bet of the dog.
It sounds like a movie.
Won, and then showed up the next day to collect. Now, his brother flipped out on him. They had a heated yelling match, told him he wasn't taking the dog, and then said that it was a fake, it was a joke bet.
Oh, that's
no,
that's
not a real
roll.
bet.
He free rolled him.
So I stole the dog. I put him in my car and drove him home.
As you should, King.
Don't worry, I bought food and toys for him already. About 4 hours later, I got a bunch of angry texts from my brother. He was telling me he was on his way to get the dog back. I got pissed. I won the dog fair and square.
He did win the dog.
Yeah, he won the dog.
And it's only been his dog for a year. It's not like a lifelong pet or anything. That's what the
dog is his now.
That's what this says.
No.
So,
you cannot.
The guy should not have bet his dog.
Okay, well, how about the dog? The dog doesn't get a say?
No, it's a dog.
What the fuck? You just gonna steal the dog?
Yeah.
What if I just stole you and gave you to a different family? How would
that
you
would
feel?
be kidnapping.
That's
Right,
trafficking,
that's exactly
sir.
what this is.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
I'm calling Peter.
It's dog napping.
It's not a dog napping. The dog was
It's
offered.
not. He bet his dog, and if he didn't mean it, then he was free rolling his brother, which is not nice.
No.
Which is not cool.
He
or
probably
cooking.
was free rolling
cooking.
him, but I don't think you can just steal the other dog.
It's not stealing. He's taking his property.
It's not stealing.
He's repo manning.
It's like
He's
what if you bet your car?
Yeah. Then you go just
It's
kidding.
an inanimate object.
Oh, I
and a
lost.
car,
Just
it's a
kidding.
one is an actual.
Okay, so where's the line? What about a hamster?
living
Okay, but no, but if he treats the dog well, it's not like he's gonna.
Yeah, he was watching the dog. He formed an attachment.
If he
with
treats
it.
if he
He's
makes
not
it,
gonna,
if
like,
he treats the
use
dog
it for
worse, then yeah, it's a bad
unscrupulous
idea.
purposes.
Tell me you guys don't have dogs without telling me you don't have dogs.
Right, exactly.
You wouldn't bet your
I
dog.
have a dog.
You
I
would
would
not
never
bet
bet him.
Gatsby.
I would know that quad aces could lose to a straight
I would
flush.
never bet him.
But this is the point. That's on him.
If you really love your dog, you'd never bet your dog.
I see.
But he didn't. He was joking.
So the dog is going to someone who maybe loves him
I
more.
think he loved the dog. He probably just didn't know that he didn't have the absolute nuts.
That's on him for not
that
knowing
is
the
on
game.
him, yeah.
Don't hate the player, hate
Like,
the game.
he made
They
a
were
bet.
also under the influence.
I don't
and
care.
they're, and they're brothers.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Wow. Letter of the law lady over here.
It's just like, well, he was free rolling his brother if he didn't actually mean it.
Yeah.
And that's not chill.
Why
Or
not?
cool. It's not cooking.
What was it? What was the other side? So if he won, he got what?
We don't know. It didn't say.
He got the dog,
It doesn't really matter because I'm
Maybe
sure
he was
he-
already a free
Grant
roll.
has the steel wheel and says, "What else you want to bet?"
I know. It was kind of like when I would throw the penny jar up there. It's like, I don't give a fuck what you guys want to bet. I will match anything on earth. And you guys have to just, back down
The
at that
dog
point.
belongs to the brother now.
I think he's the asshole. I think that.
You know what I think he should do? He should get the dog and then he should sell the dog back.
Here's the thing.
Oh, there you go.
I actually agree with
can
that.
buy the
I think
dog
that's
back.
reasonable. But
How much?
that is
What is
actually
dog
reasonable.
equity? How much is the dog worth?
well, it depends on what stakes they were originally playing, I think.
How many
Maybe, like-
binds is the dog?
Right. But the more
Should be
important thing
like
is
100 big blinds.
the
at
reason I
least.
think he's an asshole is
At
not because he
least.
stole. Well, it's a little bit because he stole the dog, but I
steal
also think he's just generally the asshole because he sounds like he has absolutely no idea of social norms or
I think it's fine.
or like how any
Based
sort of
autist steals
interaction
dog.
or like how any sort of interaction between human like this whole story details in great length how in one way or another he was gonna get this fucking dog.
Yeah.
He wanted the dog and
He
he
made it
found a
happen.
way. He made it happen. Dude,
It was
without stealing it, without napping, without stealing,
It
he
was-
said, "Do you want to bet your
It's
dog?"
an agreement.
He's an uncle, not the parent. Like this stuff, it's not okay.
What's
You wouldn't bet your child.
But really, what's the line? Like, if it's not, is it a guinea pig? Like, would that be unethical?
I don't know.
mean,
We're not talking about that. We're talking about a dog. And the
but
dog
hypothetically speaking,
I don't deal in hypotheticals.
Someone in the chat says something pretty funny, actually. If he's willing to steal the dog, he's willing to stack the deck, too.
Oh shit!
he didn't steal.
Oh, we didn't even know. We didn't even think about that. This motherfucker's a mechanic.
What if he
Yeah.
coolered his brother to steal the dog?
yeah.
Yeah.
What if it was all one? And what if he wasn't even drunk?
Right?
He's just in there
Got his brother,
feeding them
got
shots.
his brother
then-
all liquored up.
Okay,
then he
now
stacked
we're
the
really
deck.
dealing in hypotheticals, right? I thought we didn't.
How
do
much
that.
is a dog worth? Like how much if you would have bet Rudy?
How much
And you get
is
stacked.
that dog
Like
in the
how much I would
window?
sell him for?
No, like in the sense of someone like we were playing poker.
And he has probably like 2 years left.
We were playing poker, and then you said, "I'll bet Rudy," and I said, "Okay, fine." But then you're like,
500K.
2
"You give me
years?
$500,000?"
You would give me 500K for Rudy.
No, but I stacked you. So then you would have to pay $500K to get Rudy back.
No, I never bet him in the first
But what
place.
if you did?
I didn't.
Okay.
Just
Well, this is going nowhere.
Rational
Let's,
dog owner.
The line, by the way, is, does it have fur? If it has fur, then you can't steal it.
Children don't have fur.
A mouse?
Mouse you can't steal.
Can't steal a
If he has
mouse.
like a pet cricket, go
Okay, what
have
about
at
one of
it.
those
Have at
furry
it.
caterpillars?
His fur.
Until it becomes a,
Tarantula,
until it becomes
and
a butterfly.
Tarantula can't steal it.
Can't
What
steal
about a snake?
Snake doesn't have fur.
Yeah,
Take
have
the
it.
snake.
Actually, you're doing everyone a favor. Take the fucking
Yeah.
Snakes
snake.
are expensive.
Mhm. All the more
We were
reason
going
to
to
take
start our breeding business, snakes and steaks.
All right. So, second question: is Melissa the asshole for owning a fucking snake?
No, a snake
Answer-
is.
Remember when he
yes.
escaped and I was like,
it.
guys?
There's a snake.
He wrapped
somewhere.
around. He wrapped.
You're-
Pretty bird.
I promise you're
Pretty
not gonna
bird.
like the end result if that snake escapes in
He
the house.
did escape.
No, but I mean, like, actually
But
gets
he-
out of your room.
No, he wouldn't. He likes the heating.
He
pad
wrapped
too
around my
much.
chair once. I didn't know what to do, and I was like, "Melissa, get your snake. Get your
Yeah,
snake."
I had to come down and unwrap him from the bottom
I'm
of the
very
chair.
confident that Gatsby will put an end to that thing. He may not got
He's
much
been out
fight back
around-
in him.
He's been out around Gatsby and Scout.
It's a dangerous game
Scout,
you're playing.
Scout actually will sometimes go up to his cage and growl, but then when he's out, she doesn't do it.
She's not gonna do it. She's Chihuahua.
I've had Rudy on the bed with the snake, and he doesn't even notice that it's alive.
I have a high degree of confidence. Gatsby doesn't have a lot of fight left in him, but taking on a little
even
2-foot
see.
boa is gonna be one
It's
of the
not
ones.
2
that,
feet; he's 6 feet.
6 feet?
He's grown.
Get out of my house!
No, the snake's cool.
He's grown.
The snake doesn't
He
even
doesn't
escape.
bother you.
Let the snake cook.
He just
When's
relaxes.
the last time you saw the snake?
Who cares? I don't
just
ever want to. I
relaxes.
forget that it's there all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the
exactly.
point.
Thank God. All right.
Till
At
it
what
escapes.
age would you teach your children poker, or would you even? My 6-year-old has been asking lately when he notices me playing on the apps, why does the Hilton Hotel call me every fucking day? Leave me alone. And I just try to say it's a grown-up game. He learned Uno and is probably an 800-plus chess rating. I think he'll become a really good player if he can manage not tilting. His 8-year-old.
He's 6.
His 8-year-old fucking tilt or 6, whatever.
You know?
Become stoic at
He
6.
does not get really
6.
upset in losing chess Uno video games, so tilt could. Oh, he does get really upset, so tilt could be an issue. Of course, he's fucking
Yeah.
6.
I
Losing's
mean,
not fun.
if there's a 6-year-old that doesn't get upset at losing, that's very rare.
I actually think, my opinion is, I would teach my kids in like very, very young the
Yeah.
game of poker. I think as far as the logic game goes, it's like one of the top like frameworks that you can offer somebody. Especially if you teach it to them through the lens of not gambling, right? Because there
Yeah.
are answers. Knowing that there are answers to each hand, I think is very appealing to even young kids, especially whenever the alternative is just like, I don't want to fold. I'm too curious. Let's push all our money in the middle.
Right, like you could do it like where like you're playing with chips, but the chips don't have any value, right? It's just like I want to try to win all the red chips or all the blue chips, and then so it's like the gambling is not part of it,
Oh,
right?
Well, they'll still
that's
be
sweet,
gambling,
Brian.
but it's more like
That's
you teach
cute.
them the
Why is that
equity.
sweet?
Oh, Brian's trying to teach he's trying to groom the next regs at the Jewel of the South. I was thinking I'd put this motherfucker on the trainer with like 4 tables going at once.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Just be like, all right, kid, get to work.
Well, yeah, you'll have a kid that can play high rollers at 21.
At 9.
Well, I mean, he can't play them yet. So you
I
hone
don't
his
know,
ability.
man.
You
Sean,
teach him.
Sean
Chippy
Winter
V.
found a way to be in action by the time he was 11.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you could find ways to play online and stuff.
That guy's fucking spooky,
But like when
He
you
is
when you
spooky.
put him in the live scene at 18 in Florida, like at WPTs,
man. It's weird because like on one hand,
you've got a killer.
on one hand, you're right. That does sound like a real check to cash. But on the other hand,
At what
it sounds
cost?
like, yeah, the cost of like this kid's never ever going to see a woman naked.
No.
For sure.
It's like the
he's-
Marley ICM. Like once
Well,
you learn ICM, you
Maybe
lose
when he's
women.
like 35.
Well, might have to pay for it.
No, but he
Yeah.
might be.
But he'll have money to.
He might be
That's
rich
true.
though. He'll be like a rich 12-year-old. He'll be cool and cooking.
No. 12-year-olds should not have that level of wealth or power.
Imagine like if a 12-year-old has like $1,000.
Have you seen
like bar mitzvah money?
Have you seen children actors? Have you seen how they all panned out?
Like my
True.
cousin's a child actor.
Well, how's he doing?
He's cool and cooking. He's doing well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Must not have been very
Give him a
successful.
few years.
He was in a movie with Adam Sandler, actually.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Was he one of the kids who wiped his own ass?
Yes, he was not one of the Sprouse twins.
Oh.
He was
Well, I don't care.
Sprouse?
Sprouse adjacent.
He was the butt double when they were wiping their own ass. I wipe my own ass.
It's a good movie.
It is a great movie. Big Daddy, fantastic movie. But yeah, like, Drew Barrymore. Did I say more? She's doing coke at like 9.
I don't know about it.
Hillary Duff's doing okay.
Hillary Duff is doing okay. They just canceled How I Met Your Father. Very
okay.
upset about that. I know you don't care.
That's all right.
Never watched
Oh
it.
no,
Yeah.
how am I going to recover?
Jeez, what the hell am I going to do now?
Terrible sitcom ended. What will we do?
You're 6 seasons into fucking Love is Blind. Don't start with me.
So are you.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I watched the first
He's
season.
only on season 4.
I watched the first season, and then I've
I
watched.
think I've watched 3 seasons.
I've
in
watched 2
full,
episodes of the last
totality.
one.
Is
I
it
gave
worth
up on it.
watching? I mean,
No.
obviously, if you're 6 seasons in, yeah.
I'm not. I haven't watched
Because
all
Michelle
6,
was like,
though.
"Oh, new season of Love Is Blind comes out," and I was like, "Yeah."
It's not very good. The
Yeah.
only good part was like
Berkey just doesn't like it because he doesn't think anyone's hot.
no. The woman that somehow she's incredible.
Wait a minute. Which one do you think is hot?
The mom,
only hot
the
one.
like 27-year-old mom.
Okay.
She's
Shout out to mommy.
gorgeous, just
28.
absolutely stunning. Whatever, 28, stunning. And the girl who said that she looks like
Megan
fucking
Fox.
Megan Fox. There's a meme going around that
Oh,
says,
I've
like,
seen that.
She's
yeah.
actually telling the truth. She just meant she looks like Megan Fox is on Jay Leno's head.
Yes.
Which is so mean.
bad.
So
It's
fucking mean.
It's like, I'm going to
internet.
tell my kids this is Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. I'm sure you've seen that meme.
I mean, to be fair, the guy that she got matched up with is no fucking catch.
He's not Machine Gun Kelly?
No.
But he was like the hot commodity in the pods because he had a deep voice.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I think.
I know. I'm gonna apply you.
Yeah. The
And then our
podcast voice.
podcast is gonna take off.
Remember when you put like the voice cell thing in the chat?
The
was like
voice
a-
cell.
Like based on like how deep
Yeah.
your voice is. Like
Wait.
you're either based or cringe.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
You got to put it back in the chat.
How about you talk to the rest of us like as if we're a part of the show instead of just having a one-on-one with Melissa here?
Well, Melissa can explain it better than me.
It's not really worth explaining.
500 people watching have no idea what you two are talking about.
Well, it's like something that records how deep your voice is.
It was just
Oh,
like a little
okay.
fun thing.
Like if you're baritone or bass.
Sort of.
It's like amount of hertz.
Talk like this.
Mm. Keep trying, Tortoise.
I'm trying, Bert. What can I do?
There's a lot of guys on like the apps who will do that with the voice memos. They'll be like they're just vocal frying to make it their voice deeper, but
Yeah.
it's so cringe. It's like, oh my
Vocal
god.
frying? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I can't sing, obviously. That goes without saying. And the best parlor trick I could come up with at like school dances is whenever Boys to Men would come on and the deep guy would talk, baby, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for all the wrong
That's
I've done.
scary.
Imagine a 12-year-old
That's
sounding like
scary.
that. What are you gonna do, man? Can't sing. Got to do something else. All right.
Find your lane.
Let's get to the best tell me you're a wreck without telling me you're a wreck discussion. I'll start. I have 2 pair. The board is double paired.
Right.
Right.
Oh
That
my
one.
god, I hate that. Or you know what? When it's
You know what?
when it's like 6, 6, 3, and then they have a 6, and they go, I have a set.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's trips.
Bob Bright was notorious for this one. Paired board gets called at showdown. 2 pair quads.
Yep.
Oh.
I saw that one at South Point not too long ago.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one happened.
Well, Bob's a frequenter of the South Point.
I played with Bob at the
Yeah.
South Point on many occasions.
Yeah.
It was probably Bob.
Yep.
It
Might
might have been Bob.
What about Bob?
What about Bob?
Another one here. Why do you keep raising preflop?
Right.
Just trying to see
Let
3.
us in.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to see. You don't even know what the flop is yet.
So good.
Just trying to.
How can you invest so much without
Yeah.
knowing what can come?
I never won
How
with
dare you.
aces. That's a good one. Yeah, I hate jacks. It's a good one.
I had an absolute beginner say that this guy's writing like an amateur. Several times at a home game. Oh, never mind. He's just replying. That's on me.
Okay, what's
You know what?
happening?
That's on me. That's on me. I read a comment to a comment.
Hey, so
Never do that
what's
on
going
Reddit. Never do
He's
that
talking to himself as an audience of
on Reddit. Let's see. I would have called, but I knew you had it. And then followed up with, did you have it? Oh, I know you had it for sure. Find you after the game. Tell me what you had when I folded.
They love that one.
By the way, these are all Okenisms.
They
I
love
get
that
that
one.
in DMs fairly often. Like, what did you have in this hand?
People love
do you ever
information
respond?
sharing. Which is lie.
Huh?
Do you
Just
ever
always lie.
respond?
Yeah, I tell them.
Tell them some bullshit.
No, I just tell the truth every time it's happened.
All right. Well, if you want to know what she has in the hand
If it's
against you,
in
just DM her.
game, if it's in game, I lie. But
Yeah.
if it's after, I don't
Yeah.
care.
So
They love that
there's
one.
this phenomenon playing with Oaken basically every day. He's my favorite caricature of whatever this is. And it's hilarious because like obviously he's a winning player, but he does this thing that's very specific to him that I've never seen anybody else do, and that is have a decision every time that it's 4-bet to him, having invested $0. He never has an auto fold. Like raise 3-bet, 4-bet, and it's on
kind of
him.
tilting.
And like he has this long, painful decision that almost always exclusively results in a fold. But what that actually means is somehow in his brain, he's randomizing between fold and some other action.
Or he's balancing his timing.
No. It's nothing like that.
Oh.
It's definitely nothing like that. But my point is that there is no hand ever in a 5-bet range that is mixing between fold and some other action. It's either in or it's fucking not, you know? Like it gets pretty clear cut once you start to get to the 4 and 5-bet nodes.
Yeah.
You know, you got hands that are in and then you got hands that are out. And that's kind of it. There isn't a whole lot in between, you know?
Yep.
Not a lot there, yeah.
Every time you 4-bet him, he goes, gosh, I was going to 5-bet. And then I didn't.
I think people forget that tournaments are supposed to end, and most of the time they end with people getting cooler. I'd rather call it losing with ace king versus jacks or kings versus queens, where it's like, I hate this hand. Like I always lose with this hand. It's like ace king or like queens
Or aces.
or just aces. And it's
Yeah.
like, you
Like
know
hands
what?
that just always go in. And it's like, yeah.
It's like this needs to happen, or else we're all just sitting here for weeks on end.
Yeah.
You gotta lose sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I have to tell you, this thread is very underwhelming. Not because everything in it isn't completely true, but man, we must have. Every one of these is on a T-shirt somewhere.
Yeah.
You know,
generic.
like Rec Soul reads the guy and says, "I call." Hero at the table, stone nuts. Rec, that's what I thought you had.
That's me.
It's just like always.
I knew you had that.
It literally,
Yeah.
it's a social game of saving face at
Mhm.
all times.
Oh,
No
it
matter what
really is,
decision
yeah.
you make, it's
Mhm.
always just a matter of like, how can I fold? How can I save it? This actually is my favorite. I fold, I guess. Hero shows a bluff. Man, that was terrible. What are you doing?
Or when you like when you pay someone and then you could have gotten all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do that one.
I do that. I do that a lot. It's
Wow,
like,
I should have gotten stacked.
Yeah, wow.
Right.
If you just bet
I
the
basically
turn.
ran good right there.
How about they get their bluff picked off and they're like, I play aces the same way.
Yeah.
He's like, you call that? I mean, if I had aces there, I would have played it the exact same way. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could, but you
yeah,
didn't.
but you also play that hand that way too,
Yeah.
I should have
and
gone
probably a
stacked
whole
there.
bunch of other ones.
I hate pocket jacks.
How about when they sit down, they're like, can I get the scene change button?
I haven't been in a game where that's allowed in
Yeah.
15 years, and I hope to never play one again.
don't
That's
really see that
like
much.
literally like so many times.
You
As soon as
play-
they sit down,
Because you
see
play
change button.
at the worst game ever.
That's true.
You've never played the game. Literally,
I have.
you've never played
Yeah,
2-3.
I have.
I asked you if you ever played 2-3, or you told me no. Now you're saying
No, I
yes.
didn't.
You
'cause
said you played the
that's not
3-5.
true.
You played one
I
time.
played 2-3 and then I moved to 3-5.
It's the best 2-3 game in the city.
It's not the only 2-3 game in the city. Where
one-
else has 2-3?
Okay, so 1-3 at win is the same thing.
I
No, it
had
doesn't sound great if people are snap seat changing and not
I'm sure they
paying.
do that. I'm going to the win today. I'm sure
Alright.
they'll do that.
I had
Are
a guy
you?
come up to me
So
in
they do the
Bobby's room
exact same
yesterday and go, "Huge fan of the podcast, man. I got to tell you, I met Conrad and the Tortoise down at the Jewel of the South. That place is utter ass.
Yeah.
It's hell. It's hell on earth. Like this,
Literally
this guy's
drains
playing
the
like
life out
he's
of
like
you.
playing 1-2 or whatever at Bellagio. He's just like, I've never been to a more miserable hellscape than the Jewel of the
Thank
South.
you. That
Can't
guy,
believe you guys are
that guy
trashing my
knows,
place
he
here
knows
right
what's
now.
up.
And he's like, but the hot dogs.
Hot
the
dogs
hot
are
dogs,
good.
my friend.
That the room
The
is literally
glizzy.
packed nonstop. It's 30 tables. It's full.
You can go watch a movie if you
Full
want.
of miserable people.
You could.
I think you're confusing that like these low stakes are the same no matter where you go.
Hey, Tortoise, I don't think we're gonna have that meetup game there anymore, buddy. I think,
There's no tables to have the meetup game. They're all full with lists.
Melissa
Do you
just
work
insulted
there?
all of our
Do you
clientele.
work there, by the way?
I got my Jewel South patch on.
Do you have a
I'm gonna
reference
come in
link
with a
or,
Jewel
you know,
South
like-
patch.
If you
you-
start
do you
getting
get-
paid,
yeah.
I will sing the praises of the Jewel of the South. Like, get a rake back deal or something.
I mean,
Hashtag
Jesus
show
Christ.
for South
Yeah,
Point.
it's built in. the
Honestly,
right back deal.
Lamana would be the absolute perfect ambassador of all time for the South Point Casino. Like he
will be the only
face.
one.
He's
It's not
literally
just
the
it's not
face
just
of
the
it.
poker room. I mean, the whole establishment is amazing.
does it for free
Have
anyway.
you ever been to Primarily Prime Rib? Oh God,
You can
it's
go
so
watch
good.
a movie after your
Movies are great.
session.
Right.
Maybe get a little
Yeah.
bowling in.
bingo. Don't forget about the bingo.
They got the
the cash ball is like up to 30,000 right now.
They got the midnight comedy show on Fridays.
Look, why would they pay him if he's doing all this for free anyway?
That's true.
That's
Right.
That is true.
yeah.
Bro's
Yeah.
He
putting in the
can't
work.
contain his love for the South
You
Point.
got to put in the work, man. He's out here putting in the work. All right. Anything else you guys want to chat about?
No, I want to go play the main.
All right. I guess Landon's going to go play the main. They've been trying to talk me into it. I don't think. I do have a day off today. I will say that.
You can why not?
A day off. A day off.
play it.
But
You're gonna
maybe
play it.
win.
I
a
don't
million.
I don't think I'm going to go play
You're
it.
gonna
But
play it.
maybe running deep in a tournament does sound fun. For someone else. That's going to do it for us today. We're going to be back again tomorrow at noon.
Special guest?
Very special guest. The one and only Skimpy is going to be here.
Yes.
You guys finally get to meet him.
Get to meet Skimpy.
Landon,
He knows
about the-
he knows about the penny
No,
jar
you're
days.
going to have a blast. It's gonna be great.
Finally.
Yay!
I've been
Be sure
waiting
to
for this.
like, subscribe, comment. Don't forget that we do have the final episode of Poker Out Loud came out earlier this week. It is up on solveforwhy.io. We have a brief trailer for it, but we're going to run that another time since we already got the outro music playing. We'll be back again tomorrow at noon Pacific. Be sure to tune in then.
Peace.
See you.
He doesn't want to.